So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Oka Cast. We're going on episode 16 now. Wait, did we check?
This is 16. Yep.
Okay, good. All right, we're on episode 16 now. Um, we're back to give you some more content. I know you guys have been waiting for a while, but here we are again. And who else do we have here?
I'm your host and your best friend, Alan.
Awesome. Yes. All right. So, I know a lot's been changing around these days. We're now in the yellow phase of the quarantine, so now we're actually seeing some businesses open up and all that. Outdoor dining, I think, is open now too. And I don't know, and it's been nice because we've been seeing each other a little more recently than when we all just started going down. I think for the better part, it's been helping a lot of people with their mental health.
For sure.
It's kind of funny because after for a while, everyone's finally coming out of the woodworks of their house, and they're like, everyone's all like raggedy, kind of like, that the sun is so bright. It's been so long since I've been out, and like you can tell, like people's hairs are very like long. My hair was very long, and it's just good to see, people coming out of the shelter of their own home, seeing some daylight and outdoor activities a little more.
I honestly am still pretty uncomfortable with like large crowds. Like it still makes me a little bit nervous, but it's just nice to have that social like connection again, social interaction. I feel like that's you can only go so long without that, starts to weigh on you. You're like alone with your thoughts like way too long. You're just like go crazy.
Yeah, you can, because you sometimes, I don't know, I used, it hasn't really happened to me, but some people that I talk to, it's just kind of like you're seeing the same four walls every day, and you just kind of go mad. It's almost like, what's that, like an asylum where you're in the straitjacket and all you see is, in that one room, padded walls and everything. Same four walls, dude.
Yeah, that's why solitary confinement should be banned. It's torture.
Yeah, like I don't think it helps the person. It probably just like puts them down deeper into a hole, that rabbit hole. And and like I've seen it a lot. Like I talk to a lot of same people. They're just, when they work at home, apparently it's been very good. I can't speak out of experience because I never got that the opportunity to work at home before. But they would wake up, literally go down to the same room at their house, and they would get, for lack of a better word, lazy or not as motivated because they're just in the house, they're relaxing already, and they would want to go to a place, like they actually miss going to work, like leaving the house and go to work.
Yeah.
Because they're like taking that home environment and like incorporating it into while they're working, so they're like much more laxed and not as like
it's cabin fever.
motivated.
Everyone's starting to get cabin fever, just like trying to be motivated and stay active and do your work, but you're just isolated. You start to get all irritable and like, what's the word, like lethargic,
Lethargic. True.
It's a question of motivation. Like, why do you don't have to get dressed, you don't have to like try.
Yeah, we're finally coming back to somewhat of a normalcy. Well, we were back to normal, somewhat of it.
I think we're all just really restless,
Yeah, we're all just kind of itching to get out.
Yeah.
When's the opening again? When is it safe to come outside now? So we had a few topic questions that we thought were interesting to talk about. Do you want to read off on what those topic questions are, or one of them? Should we start off with?
The first question. I want to rephrase this question a little bit and make it more like personal to us. So the first question I had was, what does friendship mean to you? But I think a better question would be like, that relates to us more is, do you think you're a good friend? You know? And then why or why not?
Ooh, that's a nice question.
Yeah.
Nice little curveball you got there going on. Do you think? Do I think I'm a good friend? Why or
Yeah,
why
do you think
not?
you're a good friend?
I don't know. Um, I've heard people tell me like that I am a good friend, but it's really, I don't think I am, but I like to strive to be a good friend, you know?
Why don't you think you are?
It's just I don't know. Like maybe I feel like sometimes I don't feel like I care too much about what's going on in someone's lives. But it's just nice to like talk to people, you know, just to get to know where they come from. But like as a friend, I'm always willing to help out in those in need. Like, but maybe just because I don't know. Sometimes when people tell me stories, I was like, it kind of drags a little bit. I'm like, but but I don't want to give 'em, like the feeling that like it's not that I don't care, but like I don't know how to put it. But I just want them to feel like they are being listened to, you know.
Okay, so let me put it to you this way. What do you think makes a good friend?
What do I think makes a good friend? I don't know, someone that's reliable, someone who actually does listen, and like they don't have to be like, you know, who are there for you when you need them most, you know.
So, do you think you exhibit those kind of behaviors?
Do I do that?
Yeah.
I would say yes. I would do that.
Then wouldn't you say you are a good friend then? If you think these are the things that make a good friend and you do exhibit those things, like
Yeah.
transitive property, you know, you are a good friend.
I think what really, I don't want to consider myself as a good friend because then I feel like I might be complacent at some points. You know, I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I'm a good friend. I can get away with this shit. You know, I want to like take that, like, use that to my advantage kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you can be, like, proud of yourself and like, all right, I am a good friend, but that doesn't mean you can be like, oh, I'm just happy where I am. You could be like, I need to continue to be a good friend, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's like I've already reached or attained the status of a good friend. Now I'd just rather maintain it versus me having like an underdog mindset. It's kind of like I'm always strive to be maybe the better friend that I was yesterday, kind of thing. Or you know, as long as I keep trying to be a good friend. I don't know. It's just maybe I just don't feel like I'm ever a good friend enough. So I'll try to keep being a better friend.
Okay. I feel like I'm a good friend sometimes, but most of the time I feel like I'm not that great of a friend. I will try my best, and I feel like sometimes it's like, is that enough, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do I always go the extra mile for someone? Probably not. Definitely not.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I would either. But like, I mean, would you like do it out of like, what do you mean by extra mile? Like, would you like offer to do something for someone, or as in like, just do it
Like,
without them even like
yeah,
knowing?
both
Or
of those. Just like in any situation, I feel like sometimes I'm like, nah.
No.
I don't.
Sometimes I just feel like I'll just straight up tell them like, look, do you need help with anything? But I'm really feeling tired today, kind of thing. You know?
Just let them know. Like,
yeah, be honest with them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that marks like, that's a good thing to be. Is that's what makes you a good friend, is the honesty, you know? Like, you can be helpful and be there when you can, but knowing your limits and knowing like, all right, this is where you need to like take care of yourself, and I'm going to take care of myself, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so I can be better, well rested, or in a better mindset to help you later on, that sort of thing.
That's a good thing you brought that up because it brings kind of relates to recent, I guess not recently, but about a month ago or two, like one of my coworkers asked me to come in for an extra shift
Mm-hmm.
that night when I was supposed to be off. And he's like, "Hey Tin, I know you're off, but you should come to work. You know, we could really use your help." I'm like thinking, I just did 3 in a row. I just did 3 days in a row.
Right.
And I was like talking to another nurse. I was like, "Man, I feel bad." He was like, "Why?" I was like, "Because, you know, this person's asking me to come in tonight because, you know, they probably need the help and they most likely need it." And then like, but I feel guilty because like I just want to stay home and rest, and like you know, I need something, like this is really stressful for me right now, and da, 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 da. Just like, and she like heard, you know, she listened to me. It's like, no, like don't feel bad, like you have to take care of yourself first before you know, take care, you know, do anything else. Like
You know,
don't.
like they say on the plane, put on your own mask before you help anybody else.
Yeah. But yeah, it just comes down to it. Like you really have to take care of yourself first. You know, help yourself first before, you know, before you can do other things. But
I used to think like being a good friend meant doing all these things for them and helping them do all these things. I realized that sometimes you don't need to be the problem solver, you know? You can be just there to listen, you can just be there to like support them.
mm-hmm.
They're just like talking shit about someone. Sometimes you can't be like, well, think about it from their point of view. No, you just have to be like, fuck that guy, he sucks.
At least you try to understand them, you know.
You just gotta be supportive sometimes. You can't. Some people don't need. Like they don't. You don't need to be the voice of reason. You just have to be there. And listen and be like. Be loyal. Be like, hey, yeah, fuck that guy. I don't know who he is, but you're right.
I never met him before, but fuck him, you know.
It's like,
That guy can eat
just
shit.
just tell me she's fat, and you're like, yeah, she's fat.
You see a picture like,
Damn.
You-
Yeah, she's fat.
yeah, she's fat, dude. Yeah, you just need someone to be on your side, you know. Even though, if it takes just, you know, being the if what you're, you know, going, what you might think is wrong, you're still in to be on the same side as your friend.
But yeah,
What?
I think the main things are honesty, being there, being loyal. I think that's just what makes a good friend. And that can manifest in a lot of different ways. You don't always have to like do all this stuff. Sometimes you just are there.
You ever feel like you have to drag yourself to go to like a hangout? Like the idea was good like a couple days ago, but the day of, it's like, oh my god, nah, I have to go to this hangout. Like,
Yeah, all the time.
yeah.
But I don't think that makes you a bad friend. I just
Yeah.
think sometimes like something is a good idea in the moment, and then so much stuff happens to you in 2 or 3 days. You're like, I'm exhausted. I can't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have to take care of yourself. You say, I don't want to go. I can't go.
Sometimes I just go just to
Show face.
just show face, you know.
Like, hey, I'm
Because
here, guys.
once you already agreed that you'll be there, it's kind of like,
Can't
all right,
flake.
yeah, you can't flake, you know, unless it's like really dire, like a strange
I
circumstance
think
or something.
I think people would be understanding though. If they're your actual good friends, they'd be like, if you show up and say like, hey, like, sorry if I'm not as, you know, engaged right now. Like, I'm really tired. I just had a crazy 3 days. And if they're good friends, they'd be like, totally understandable. Just we'll have fun, but just you can take it easy, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
As long as you
it's
communicate, you let them know
Communicate.
like, hey, I'm not in a great mood today, but I showed up, and they'd be like, you know what? Thanks for showing up. And you're like, we don't have to like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to.
Unless they call you out in your bullshit. It's like, yeah, what the fuck? I just saw you over here 5 hours ago on Instagram.
Fake friend. That's a fake friend. Yeah. I think we get into this like idea that you just have to always be the like helping people, helping your friends, doing stuff for your favors for your friends, otherwise you're not a good friend. But I think as long as you're there, as long as you're communicating.
Have you ever had a bad friend?
I mean, sure. I think we've all had some bad friends throughout the years. I think I've been the bad friend plenty of times as well. I mean, but it's about like learning from it, looking back and being like, all right, that was like, I was a bad friend, you know?
How were you a bad friend?
Just like not communicating and being like not being there for someone, you know? I think my biggest problem was probably like just communicating with people. But I've gotten a lot better about it, for sure.
Have you ever just blew someone off before when they asked like they needed help, like they needed to talk to you about something that was probably like unrelatable to you?
Probably. I can't think of any examples, but I've most definitely probably done that. Like, all right, like I can't help you, and just like,
yeah.
What about you? Do you feel? Oh, because you said like sometimes you just like, it's not that you don't care. You just like, I'm like done listening.
Yeah, it's just I think it comes down to more like sometimes it takes a toll. Like I'm down to listen, but if it like I feel like if it drags on for too long, it's just hard to keep up, and like it's hard to keep interest or maintain interest in it.
You just feel like what, your attention span is short?
Something like that, a little bit. That, or sometimes it's just, yeah. I mean, like for example, remember when we went camping and the this past weekend we went camping, and then the what's it called, the owner of the hip camp kept coming over to us and kept talking. And then like it was nice for like good 4 minutes into the conversation, but it kept going on until like 10 minutes, and after that I was like, shit, I gotta like I need to somehow like get out of this conversation because it's going on for way too long. I was just like, okay, what's up?
But that was someone like you didn't know. Do you ever do that with friends? Like they're just talking and talking, you're like, all right, I need to bail out of this conversation.
Couple times, a little bit. I mean, it's easy to cut the conversation short. I just take my attention elsewhere, like go get, I don't know, food or get a drink or something. I just kind of like walk away. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get a drink. We'll continue this conversation later, kind of thing. And then
Well, what if it's just like you and that one other person? You're just talking to one person and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna stop you and walk away.
True. Oh yeah. Then I don't know. It's hard to conclude a conversation, especially when it's not your like problem. But I guess in the end, you could just give like advice or suggestions to or come up with creative solutions to their problem, and hopefully that will come to conclusion of the conversation. But yeah, it's hard for me to keep a conversation going for too long. I just man, sometimes I say things like in the conversation, I like pick up some idea, like what the person is saying. I'll just say something that's relative to it, and they'll just
tangentially related.
Yeah, tangential. And then they'll just keep going on rambling about that thing. I'm like, okay, shit. But like, I don't want them to feel like I'm not like. People have gotten the vibe from me that like, oh, I guess you're done with the, they felt like they felt like they were annoying me with the conversation. I'm like, oh shit, am I that expressive to when I'm listening to you and I don't want to listen to you anymore? I don't know. My interest dies down really quick. That's
But
hard.
I feel like sometimes. Then what about like these conversations? These last for like hour and a half. How do you maintain your attention for that long?
These conversations are, I guess, is much more interesting in my opinion because it's actually involving what I think about a lot of things too.
Okay.
But like, it's not really a problem, but discussing what funny stuff, like dumb stuff. But when it comes to like listening to problems, it's kind of like, oh shit, okay, let me give them that lending ear. Sometimes you give advice, but sometimes they don't take the advice in, and then they're like, okay, then.
That's what I hate. Was when you're right and you have good advice, but sometimes they just don't want advice, and you're like,
yeah,
all right, I'll listen, but I have the solution right here.
Yeah,
it's so easy.
Here's your solution, take it. And they're like,
please. And then they're just,
I just wanted to complain. I was like, all right. I'm like,
all right. All right.
But yeah, I don't know. Conversations are hard. Having a conversation, especially with strangers.
For sure.
Ugh.
It's so hard. Especially because I feel like I want to make a good first impression,
Mm-hmm.
And I want to express my intelligence. I'm like, I know I'm smart, but how do I get this person to understand that?
How do I get this person to understand that I am smart?
Yeah. I'm like, all right, I am smart. I am articulate. I just want them to know that. But I also want to be helpful, and I also want to like give them, like, help them with whatever they're complaining about,
Mm-hmm. It's like at least for me, I want people to know that I'm smart, but I don't want to act like I'm smart. I want to act like, like dumb, foolish, and like I don't.
Especially because there's like a certain, like, stigma, or like there's a certain way people view smart people. It's like, it's like the way, like, he thinks he's better than us, sort of thing.
Right.
But that's not always the case. It's just like, I just want you to know I'm smart.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm better than you. I just want you to know that I am also smart.
I just want you to know that I'm very capable. I'm able to do a lot of things, and I know a lot of things, but I like to act like I don't, though.
Okay. But why is that?
Because I feel like there's a lot of expectations. Like you said, there's a lot of expectations for you, or an attitude that you have to uphold to make it seem like you're smart, or make it portray that you're smart. But really, I just like to have fun, do dumb shit, and say dumb stuff, and like I don't have to I don't have to worry about thinking about that. I don't have to try so hard to be smart, whereas I can just like be dumb, and like when it requires me to like actually think or critical think, then I'm able to do it when I want to. Whereas when I want to like relax and have fun, is roast some people,
Yeah.
Like be witty.
I feel like I think the reason I want to seem smart is because I view smart people as very reliable and very like dependent, like, or not dependent, dependable. I mean, like, you can like trust them to help you, and you can trust them to figure something out for you. And I want to be that person, I want to be dependable and reliable and smart,
Mm-hmm. That actually makes a lot of sense too. Like, people. How does it feel when people come to you for like advice, or like
exactly. You're like, yes, like, yes.
It's like,
thank you for coming to me.
Bring your stool closer, my little Padawan. Let me give you some insight and knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of all the people you could have gone to, you chose to come to me because you trusted my opinion, you trusted my like knowledge, It makes me feel important.
I like to usually go to people who have experience in whatever, like home buying, for example. I'll go to Kim and Dwee because they're like already in that, like, and they already have a lot of experience in that area. So I'll ask them a lot of questions regarding that because I want to, you know, I look for advice. I look for advice from people who are already doing a lot of their own research and like already in the process of it. So it's nice to.
Yeah. So like, smart people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think my intelligence really comes through when I watch Jeopardy. I know a lot of random trivia.
I see it. Yeah, I remember one time I was over your house and then you was like, hitting these Jeopardy questions left and right. I was like, damn, how do you know these facts? Oh, like, I don't even know any of this shit. I try my best. I just guess. I'm like, oh, I think it's that one. And like, it's kind of like one of them. I'll get them like 1 out of 100 times I try.
I think Jeopardy is, a lot of it is making educated guesses. Because even if you don't know, you can guess your way into an answer. Because they always give you big hints in the answers. It's like, this guy who did this, and you're like, oh, and then, or they'll make a pun, you know?
Right.
They say like, this hero, who is like afraid of the dark or something, or hangs from the ceiling. You're like, oh, Batman, you know?
Was it bad that I thought when you said that, like, wait, there's a hero who hangs himself? like a noose around his neck. Oh no.
But yeah, it's like, I find smart people very, like, I feel like I can go to them with my problems.
That's good.
Which is weird because I feel like there's a shift in our country where we don't like trust the experts anymore. We don't trust like the smart people.
Yeah,
people are saying, like,
I think the media has done that a lot because anything can be like fake news. anything could be like a corroborated story. You ever see those like pictures of like celebrities? Like, I think there was a video on Reddit that came out where they had an experiment where they had one guy who looked like Justin Bieber eating a burrito. He was eating a burrito
from the side.
Yeah, from the side.
People lost their fucking mind.
And then they took a picture of it and they posted on the internet saying that it was Justin Bieber eating a burrito from the side, and everyone was flipping their shit. I think, and then later on, like a month later, they released a video that they did it. And then they're like, yeah, everyone thought it was real. There was news articles and everything. But like, and Justin Bieber was like defending himself, like, that's not me, guys. But no one like they're like, this is a clear picture of you with your hair and everything.
The thing is, it takes 6 seconds to tweet out some bold-faced lie, you know, or like 5 seconds to read a headline, like a false headline. But it takes hours and a lot of work to research and to look up stuff that might disprove it, and a lot of people aren't going to do that, you know. It's like it's so much more work to just do your research, to do your due diligence and like look stuff up, than just, oh, I read a headline that said you know, a cat shot up 4 convenience stores the other day, and you're like, oh shit, a cat did that? That sounds crazy. And then it's so easy to click share or like repost it. But then if you just like look up, if you try to like do research about it, you're like, oh, cat as in like old 70s slang, like a cat. This cat.
What a cool
shot
cat.
Up. Yeah, this cool cat.
This
jive turkey. Shot up 4 convenience stores.
Yeah, this is all about kind of doing your research, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those few who just read the headliners, like, because I just get tired of reading. I read like the first like paragraph, but usually that's like the fuck up. Like it's news articles nowadays are there that like reel you in to read the whole fucking thing, and I'm just kind of like scrolling to see where the fucking like
the real story is.
The real story is, yeah.
I think it's like, it's fine to not think that's fine. You don't have to research every single thing you read, but you have to be able to think like, well, okay, let me just this story sounds crazy. Let me just check on this one, you know? Or like, this affects this might change the way I think about something. I might want to do more research before I jump to a conclusion, you know? So I'm not saying like research every single story, and just fact check at least.
You ever just think that everything that you've been seeing on the news has been a lie? Or not a
I
lie,
would say a lot of it is sensationalized. It's designed to get you afraid of certain things. It's designed to make you like
curated for you to feel.
Yeah.
To feel.
It takes like a point and then it blows it up. It's like, all right, we have nothing else to talk about. Let's just make this our story for like the next like week, 2 weeks, and just like make it a big deal. And like, have you noticed like how they don't talk about the riots anymore? Like the past like
Couple
2
days
weeks.
now. Yeah.
It's because they're like, all right, this is the story we're gonna go with, and then this is the news cycle, our new whatever their timeline is, and we're just gonna talk the shit about it like the whole time. Just all right, like rioters, and then when the police back off and there's like just less violence, there's nothing to talk about. So they're like, all right, let's just move on to something else. So it's designed to like harp on something. It's designed to like sensationalize it to make you think about it too much, you know?
I feel like the news a lot lately. It just like, yeah, it kind of brings like the fear out of you by putting on these headlines like all this shit's happening out in the world, you know? But something it's like definitely like curated so that they can get a reaction out of you.
Yeah, they frame it in a way that makes you like really afraid and angry.
I feel like we need more good news. Good news. Wholesome news.
Oh, like that show John Krasinski did on YouTube. It was called Some Good News. It's called Some Good News, and he just like went through and told like wholesome stories.
I actually never seen that before. That's
Yeah,
how he did. I remember he did that. He did like a little. I remember he was like sitting at a desk and like talking to a mic or something like that.
Yeah, I think he did like a couple episodes. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if he's like continuing it or he like probably sold it to a network or something. Get some money.
It's scary too, because I know like at least I've heard stories about like companies buying like high karma Reddit accounts where they have a lot of like karma, so they would seem a lot more legit when they would post like comments.
Yeah.
Either comments or like submitted posts of like news articles or something.
I think Hasan Minhaj did like a video talking about how like most of the major news websites are like owned by someone, you know, and they have a certain like agenda they want to push, a certain like bias they're leaning towards, and they're like, so they like they frame news a certain way and they like tell the story a certain way. They but then he was talking about how local news shows, like your local news station, they're the ones who are telling like the real stories because they're not owned
by a huge company.
Yeah, some of them aren't owned by huge companies, and they can tell the story like the true facts as it is. So yeah, it's.
Have you ever seen that one video on Reddit where the news company Sinclair owns like all the Fox News like all over the.
They own like 1 billion freaking like news stations.
Yeah, and like someone pieced together like all the they all aired like the same thing, and they all read from the same exact script from different news television. It was very scary because it was really showing how much one company was, like you said, was curating the news and pushing the agenda that they wanted off of one script, and they all say the same exact thing. And he like lined up every video to be in sync with each other, and they like talked in like a robotic voice. It was really like
They're all reading the exact same script.
yes, yes. I'll link it to you. It's fucking nuts. It's actually, if you go on Reddit and you go to r/videos, you go to top of all time. It's actually the top video.
Dang.
Top. It's like 200K uploads, I think. It's wild. And so like it's if the news company isn't allowed to say what they want to say, they can only say what that one company says. Like this one company will say, you guys are saying this script, publish it out on every on every television or news station that we have, and I want this to be said and heard. Like this is the only way we want people to think through the news, which is nuts.
That is pretty crazy. That's what I'm saying. You just gotta like do your research sometimes. Wow, we're at 40 minutes.
Damn, you're right. We did that like a 5-6 minute like break.
Really? It was like 5-6 minutes? I thought it was like 1 or 2 minutes.
True. Hold on. I'm gonna link this. Oh god, that was fucking loud. So we do have another question for a topic or to talk about, and the question is, what's the worst thing you've eaten out of politeness?
I mean, I guess this kind of relates to our last thing, because we were talking about how like sometimes you just listen out of politeness. You're just like, you're kind of done, but you're just like, yeah, just trying to like stay engaged. But yeah, you ever eat like go to someone's house and they make something like real nasty looking, and you're like, thank you.
Yeah.
Throw it.
I don't know about throwing it over the shoulder, but I'll give it a try.
And spit it into your napkin. This is excellent. This is excellent.
I like to preface to them that I'm a very picky eater. I usually don't like a lot of things to eat, but I'll give it a try if they ask me. If they made it, I wouldn't say for me, but if they made it, I was like, all right, you know what? Since I'll try it after the effort that you made to put in this dish, or this food that you made, or dessert. Where
do you draw the line? What are things that you will refuse to eat?
Eggplants.
Okay, based on what?
Based on my past experience, I don't like. I've had eggplants before. I don't like it.
What is it? The texture?
Texture. Yes, I've been fooled. This is the same feeling that I got when I had Oreos for the first time. It like I saw eggplant. It was fried eggplant too, and it looked like fried tofu. I was like, "Whoa, this is eggplant. It looks like tofu. It's got I'm expecting like a tofu consistency and firmness and texture out of it. So I went to go take a bite, and it was slimy. It was not good. Those at Sankey, I was disgusted. Beyond my mind. I was like,
well, do you think it was disgusting because you were expecting a different consistency?
I think,
or you just didn't like it.
It was a mixture
you're like,
of both.
Okay.
Because I don't like that texture to begin with, and I was expecting
Gotcha.
something else as well. That slime, I don't know that I ever ate anything that was like slimy. Like I've eaten like porridge, like rice porridge, but like I don't know. That is more like a soup for me.
Yeah,
this
it's not slimy.
It's not slimy. But yeah, I don't know. I just concluded there. I don't like eggplants, and it happened like what 6 years ago.
You just never had eggplant since?
No, I avoided it. That was my first time trying it. That was my last time ever trying it too.
Damn.
At least from what I remember.
I'm pretty much the opposite. I'm not picky at all when it comes to food. But I draw the line at like, I don't know. There's nothing I haven't like straight out refused yet. maybe if someone like made bugs or something, I'd be too skeeved out.
Was there something that you ate that you didn't like though, like before?
I mean,
that you didn't like.
Sure. So there's a lot of foods I don't like, but I will still eat it if like it's incorporated. You know, like if it's more work to just pick it out, I'll just eat it. For example, like tomatoes. I don't love tomatoes. I don't like them.
Agreed.
But if they're like mixed in, I'm like, can't avoid it. I'm just gonna eat it and like tank it.
I would not eat tomatoes by itself, but if it's mixed in like with something, I'm definitely gonna eat it. It's like it doesn't bother me that much to the point because I don't even notice the tomatoes being there, to be honest.
Like I think it's fine on a burger. I just don't like it when it's by itself too much. I honestly don't like salsa that much because it's like just spoonfuls of tomato.
I used to not like salsa because I thought because of that it was a spoonful of tomato. I was like, maybe I'll just get around. I like the tomato when it's like smushed up already, but I don't like the chunky part of it.
Yeah.
So what I used to do is get like a tortilla chip and like scoop up the salsa and like pick off the chunky part and just eat the salsa with it. But I've gotten a lot better now. I eat it with the chunky pieces now. I've evolved. But
I think I don't like it by itself, but if it's like complemented with something and it's there to like balance something else, then I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Is there much flavor to tomatoes?
Kind of.
Huh.
It's like, I honestly don't like, the only vegetable I like to eat is probably like onion. Everything else I just tolerate. I tolerate everything, but I like onions.
I love onions, dude. Ugh. I told you before, and I tell everyone else, but my favorite vegetable is an onion. Hands down. I don't think there's anything else. Not broccoli, not kale or spinach or watercresses is pretty up there, but onions are my favorite vegetable. It just has a nice flavoring to it, and you can cook it with almost anything.
I think the benefit of vegetables is just like if I eat something super salty or super heavy, just something light to balance it. That's the only reason I tolerate vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like grilled corn. Maybe I like corn.
Corn, that's a good one. Roasted corn on the grill.
Actually, no, I take it back. I like mushrooms.
You like mushrooms? Good.
I like mushrooms.
But onion's still my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
Without any doubt.
Without a question, without a doubt.
Asparagus. Oh, asparagus is good too. I do like me my asparagus.
I don't mind asparagus.
But yeah, I don't know. I would say, what's the worst thing that I've eaten out of politeness?
I'm trying to think of it too.
I know the worst thing I've eaten is an eggplant. Out of
Really?
politeness. Well, it was because it was a dish at Sankey, so it's not like I was trying it. No one was actually made it for me.
Yeah.
I was just giving it a whirl, kind of thing.
Was there ever like someone's house, like they made something, like or their family made something? And you're just like, oh no, I can't like say no.
It actually happened at Tom's place. His sister and his mom like whipped me up like a big bowl of like hoteel or something.
Mm-hmm.
And basically as a hoteel, it's like a noodle dish, like a Vietnamese noodle dish, soup. But like I was already like full, like I had no appetite, but I couldn't say no. But it was good. It wasn't like bad. I was just like, I ate one bite. I was like, Tom, I can't finish this. I can't eat anymore. It was really good. And then they were just sitting there watching me eat. I was like, what? Why are you guys watching me eat, dude? This is so much pressure. I was like, Tom. They're like, they knew they were fucking around with it. Then if you don't eat that, I'm gonna be offended. I'm like, oh my god,
disrespecting my family right now.
Yeah, exactly. They were playing with me, dude.
I think one time someone made like an intestine dish or something, like a large intestine, but it was prepared in a way that it was like still smelly. It still stank.
Oh,
Dude.
really?
Yeah. So I was like, it smelled really good, and it looked really good. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll try anything, and I put it in my mouth, and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Did it feel like it was still like raw or something?
No, it's just like it had like that organ-y flavor. You know, like when you eat like organ meat, it has that certain like taste to it. It like, and it had like its intestine, so it's a little chewy. It had this like weird texture, and it like maybe it wasn't cleaned super well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like poopy.
Oof.
It had like this like, I was like, it
has some like
great.
residue on there.
I was like, this is delicious. This is great. I love it. That was probably the grossest thing.
Damn.
Because usually I don't mind. Intestine is like not the worst part. It's when the intestine is not cleaned thoroughly or properly, then you can still like. It's like oof. This is it stinks.
The only intestine I've ever really had was the one that like they serve at Thai Lake, where it's like crispy on the outside and a little the soft on the inside kind of thing.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Like the pig intestines, pork intestines, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. After I ate a couple, they're like, "Thinh, do you know that's intestine, right?" I was like,
Good.
"Well, I like it now. I like intestines." But I can't remember. I can't imagine you having a little something on there.
It was like
soft.
it had like sauce on it and stuff, but still could taste the. I was like, wow, it tastes like dirt and it's kind of poopy.
Whatever this animal ate, I tasted too.
It was fucked up.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
But yeah, I feel like as Asian people, there's not a lot of stuff I won't eat.
Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about that actually a lot. Like, I've been pretty looking back and like thinking about it. I feel kind of I like being able to be part of two different cultures, you know, like an American culture, like an Asian culture kind of thing. Because also like, even though I'm very picky, it still has helped me to be a lot more open to a lot of things, to try new things, to understanding new things, to seeing two sides of the coin kind of thing, instead of being just very tunnel vision, narrow-minded.
Right. I mean, some stuff that is like normal to us is like super weird to everybody else.
Yeah.
You eat like bokor, it has like tendon in it sometimes, and you're like have all these like weird cuts of beef, and they're like, what is this? And you're like, oh, it's like tendon. It's like not that weird. And people are like, what? Tendon?
You just
like,
eat tendon?
yeah, what's wrong with that? You know? Or you eat pho and you get like tripe. People are like, what is this? And you're like, it's tripe. It's delicious. And like that is so normal for us, but for other people it's like weird as hell. You ever eat balut? It's like the
duck
egg. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I've tried it once before. Yeah.
And that's like, I wouldn't say it's normal, but I would say like it's pretty like that's part of Asian cuisine, you know?
Yeah, it's a very normal Asian thing to eat.
Yeah, and then people are like, it's a fertilized duck egg? That sounds crazy. You're like, why? You
the
eat
concept of it is nuts, but like,
it's just duck.
And it's been proven like through generations that people eating this shit are A-okay. You know?
Dude, I love it. It's delicious.
You just put a little salt on top, and you know, you just scoop out the egg, or you scoop out the balut, just eat it.
Salt, pepper, maybe some basil on it.
Mm-hmm.
Thai basil.
Garnish it. It's a weird concept for those who don't eat it, but like, you have to be, I guess, you have to be open to understand what the taste is like, you know. But yeah, I mean, just trying out new foods and everything. It's explaining it is actually a really cool part to someone who doesn't know, because it's like, hey, is that? It's like you should definitely try it. Be open-minded, and like this is what my culture like, has conditioned me to eat or be more okay with this kind of stuff.
Dude, Asian cuisine is the best in the world. Like there's so much, Like what does America even have? Like what is American cuisine?
Honestly, everything I think of American, I just think of a turkey dinner. Thanksgiving dinner. Get your mashed potatoes and a barbecue.
Give me pho any day over that. Give me Thai food any day over that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love Thai food, dude. Dude, they have the best like stir-fried noodles. Like
for sure.
And the Koreans have the best barbecue shit. The meats.
I want to try like bugs or something.
You want to try eating bugs?
Because I feel like that's like the protein of the future. It's like sustainable and more protein per kilogram or whatever. And we're probably going to run out of livestock soon. Pollution's going to kill us. And then all that's left is just bugs, and we got to learn to eat that.
Or synthetic meat from the labs.
Impossible burgers.
Impossible burgers. Wait, is that what they are? Synthetic burgers?
Yeah, it's all plant-based. I don't know if it's what you're thinking of, like fake grown meat, but I know it's like it's plant-based and it's like designed to be almost exactly like meat, texture, and it'll like if you like grill the burger and then you cut it open or you take a bite into it, it should like leak juices like a real burger does.
What?
For my like pink in the inside.
My viewpoint of the Impossible Burger, I thought it was always like a vegetarian burger, another veggie burger kind of thing.
It is. It's completely plant-based, but it's supposed to feel and look and act just like meat. Like it'll bleed.
It'll bleed.
Like you bite into the burger and it's like still pink in the middle. You'll see like juices running. You're like, wow, is this meat? Like, nope.
This grass will green blood or bleed blood. Damn. I might give it a whirl. Try out the Impossible Burger. Didn't like Burger King also have the Impossible Whopper or some shit?
Yeah.
Too? Okay.
I think I can tell the difference between the Impossible Whopper and the regular Whopper. The texture is a little bit different, but I think it's because it's like the patty is so like thin. I mean, you should get it and test it out. Get like a regular like 3rd-pound burger and like a Impossible Burger. Grill them both. Do a taste test. Make a vlog out of it.
Oof, vlog idea, dude. I still have to put the 2nd episode up. Shit. I still have to do that. Sorry guys, I've been slacking on my vlog editing. I have the footage. I just had to piece it together and just edit out the kinks. Just really time consuming.
Anything else anything else you absolutely refuse to eat besides eggplants? Or is that it?
I'm sure there are other things, but they don't come to mind right now. Like, there's some things that I would prefer not to eat, but I'm okay with eating. I think durian is also one of them. I tried durian before. It's okay. I just don't like the taste. And it gives like a little sticky texture too. It's kind of like a sticky, moldy texture to it.
It's so weird. It's like creamy but there's no cream in it. It's like it's a fruit.
Yeah.
Like, is there milk in this fruit? Like, it's so weird. I love it though.
You like durian? That's good.
Hmm.
I think the first time I ever tried durian was on like a we were in New York for dim sum, and they served it as like a one of the dessert dishes. It was like covered in like a green leaf or something like that.
Hmm.
I tried it. I can understand why people like it, but like it tastes, the taste is there. It's sweet, but it's just, I don't know. I don't think I could handle the texture for too much. But as of
It,
like
it's
crossing the
weird
line,
because like I think I like durian, but people sometimes say it smells really bad and it smells like but then that's how I feel about like stinky tofu. You know, it's people like it, but I think it smells so bad.
stinky tofu. What does that smell
Yeah,
like?
it smells like garbage.
Really?
Literally, I'm
'Cause-
not even kidding. It
Hmm.
smells like straight wet. Okay, okay. You know that when you go into Chinatown, you smell like that like that wet garbage smell.
Oh yeah, like the green like liquid
That's what it
spewing
smells like.
on the sidewalk. Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Because I smelled tofu before, but I guess it wasn't sticky tofu, but like the soybean tofu that I smelled, it smells nice. Because like, oh, it smells like soy milk.
Yeah, it smells like soy milk. But this stinky tofu has been like fermented or something in I don't know what, but it's like fermented and then they deep fry it. It's like you, bro.
That's insane.
Thanks.
Sometimes there's more smelliest shit. It's probably like, it probably has that nice funk flavor it has to it, you know.
I mean, I've had it before. People say it doesn't taste as bad as it smells, which is true, which is definitely true, but it still is like, I mean, taste is like 80% of it. You know, you smell it, you're like, dude, I can't eat like one piece or like 1.5 pieces, and I'm like, my breath stinks.
Because then that shit stays in your mouth and you smell it. You start smelling it through your mouth. And so
You're just talking. You just like try to lean in for a kiss from your girl, and then they're like, "Dude,
Like,
smells
oh,
like
fuck.
hot garbage."
Did you brush your teeth today?
Did you just deep throat a trash can or something? It stinks.
We're an hour and 5 minutes in. I went by pretty quick.
Yeah, let's. I think the "What's Up with You" would take up the last like 10-15 minutes.
Let's do it. Hold on, let me think about what's up with me right now.
Space Force.
Well, I finished Space Force. That was a while ago, though. Oh, we're watching the Okay, let me just do this. Hey guys, as you all know, we're finally going to go to our segment called "What's Up with You," where we discuss what we've been into recently, and I'll start off. So, what's up with me, Tin? Oh, well, let me tell you.
What's up with you, Tin?
I started watching. I'm not sure if you guys know already, but on Netflix, Queer Eye just released a new season on Philadelphia, Philly. I think it was 10 episodes, but yeah, I started watching that, and it's pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad. You should watch it.
What's it like seeing like places we've been to on Netflix
On
You're like,
screen.
wow. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't know. It kind of amazing. Like, oh, they're finally kind of showing the world what Philly is like, you know, and like.
Does it feel like a more like glamorous version of Philly though? Do you feel like you're like, I've been on that street? No way, they definitely cleaned it up. Like, where's all
I
the
don't know.
litter?
It does still look pretty run down as it always does on the screen too.
Okay.
Like you see the buildings like all like, kind of like broken down or unpolished and everything. I was like, oh, looks like Philly. Like I feel like they drove on through Fishtown. I was like, wait, I've been there before. It looks exactly alike, you know. But it's nice because like it's different from what you actually see from other towns because you actually see the clients or whoever the person who's getting the makeover, you can see like the Philly accent coming out or the way we talk in Philly.
Oh really?
And like how they're like the shit is fly around here. Like I want to look fly, or you know, they it's just like they use John. The way we talk is different from the rest of the world, which is kind of crazy.
For sure.
That
Like we don't
Woodard.
notice the Philly accent, but it's real.
Yeah, it becomes more apparent when they put it on TV. It's like, oh shit, we do talk like this. But yeah, that's what's been up with me. What's up with you, Alan?
I just finished up the second season of The Orville. It's
The
like
Orville.
yeah, it's a show on Hulu. It's about I think it's on Fox, but I watch it on Hulu. It's like if you can imagine like Star Trek or like Battlestar Galactica or like Babylon 5 or those shows like that, like Star Trek and stuff. It's like that. It stars Seth MacFarlane as the captain of like a spaceship like that just like travels around and explores the universe and stuff. I think it's pretty good because it's been a while since like one of those shows has come out, like a good space sci-fi drama show. And I feel like they explore a lot of like heavy topics. Like they talk about like they like certain alien cultures have like backwards customs, or like, in our opinion backward customs, but then it kind of explores like, is it right for us to impose our own set of morals and values on an alien planet? Like we think it's wrong, but it's their culture, it's their customs, it's their tradition. Should we? Yeah. And I was like, wow, like
pretty heavy. That's pretty deep. Like, are we gonna enforce our morals onto their,
like our human morals and our human values on this alien planet?
Right. And that speaks on like a broader term. Like, if you can just think about that, that also applies to what we have over here in the U.S. as well. In the U.S. Because that brings me to my next point. It reminds me of that movie. What's it called? The Farewell, with Aquafina in it. It's very, very two different ways of seeing how families handle like death. Like, you have the American way, and then you have the the Asian way. Have you ever seen the movie?
I haven't yet.
Oh shit! You should. I don't want to spoil it for you, but you should watch it. But it's very similar to what. Oh my gosh! Hey. Very similar to that kind of mindset. Like, are we forcing our own like ideals onto someone else's? Like,
where can I watch The Farewell?
On Amazon Prime. It's free with Amazon Prime.
No, that's freaking.
No, that's Cookie.
Oh, Cookie's like, freaking out.
Yeah. They're playing. There we go. Finally. But yeah, it's just a lot of the movie is about like how America deals with like. So basically, what the premise of the movie is about like there's a grandmother who doesn't find out. She goes to the doctor. The doctor tells her she's okay, but she goes with her sister, and the doctor tells her sister, oh yeah, she has lung cancer. She has cancer. And then, but the sister doesn't tell the person who has cancer at all. Like, he's like, oh yeah, the doctor says you're fine. We'll go home. I know.
That's actually like happens a lot in Asian families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Aquafina, who's from like New York or some shit, or basically from America, she flies over. She hears words. She flies over, and she's like, "Why aren't we telling Grandma that?"
Yeah.
She has like, "No, like,
dude,
we don't do that here."
It's happened in my family too.
Really?
I should watch this movie.
Yeah, you definitely should, dude.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's like we don't do that here. I was like, shouldn't she have the right to know? I was like, that's an American way of thinking. Like, in China, we don't tell them.
Yeah, it's like, and where do we draw the line? Where do we, like, what's right for us is, like,
yeah, isn't like right for someone else,
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. As it's like it's nice because I never thought that actually happened. That, at least in China or in other countries, you know.
Dude, it happens. Yeah, it happened in my family's crazy. But yeah, so your what's up with you turned into talking about The Farewell.
That's true.
I'll check it out. It sounds good.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's a tearjerker too. Took that tear out of your eye. But yeah.
But yeah, check out the Orville. I think it's an interesting show. There's like some episodes where they're like, they talk about the implications of like they have like a simulator, and they can create like programs and stuff that seem like very real. So, and then it's like the episode's premise was like they find a cell phone from a time capsule that's like 400 years old or something. It's like modern day, like the phone's from modern day, but obviously they're in the future. So they're like, oh wow, we should like all the things we can learn about the past. So they like put it into the simulator, and it's like it was based off this girl's like phone. So it's like based off her world, her life, and like all her pictures and all her like text messages, and it creates like a version of her.
Oh shit.
And then the idea is like
it's like a Black Mirror.
One of the characters. Yeah, exactly. And then one of the characters like falls in love, and it's like they're like, God, dude, she's not real. And he's like, well, she's real in all the ways that matter, you know? Like she's real to me, and she has her thoughts, her feelings. She has like, it's like what, like they have like a robot, and they're like, we treat him as real, and he's just also just a computer program and like a artificial being, and then we treat him with respect. We treat him with like this, like as if he's a sentient being, you know. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. It's a good show.
That sounds just like a Black Mirror episode.
But it does it in a way that's much more light. I feel like Black Mirror is so like dismal and dark and like sad, but this one, it feels a little more like, it's still sad at the end, but it's very like hopeful. It's very like feel good.
That's good,
because it makes you think about it, but not like makes you sad about it, you know.
Right. It's just like food for thought, but like don't get hung up. But think about this though.
Black Mirror is way too dark. I feel like I can only watch like one episode at a time before I'm like, I'm out. Fuck this.
Yeah. That one Black Mirror episode though. That was a good episode where, you know, where the wife got all like the messages of the husband or whatever, and then they had a computer become
like that,
the husband.
Robot guy, that Andrew.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I would do the same thing though. You know,
bring them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like it wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe because my heart can't handle being alone for too long, or just I'll probably miss him too much. That's very hard. I don't know. I feel like I would do it though, with all the good and bad out of it. Okay. So this is it. Until next time, thank you for listening. That's episode 16 of OCUDcast. You know, we're always open to answer any of your questions. If you have any questions for us, feel free to shoot it in the comment or just text us like, hey, you guys should do this on your next episode, answer this question on your next episode, kind of thing. You know, just so we have some, you know, we wanted to listen to our viewers or listeners here if they have any thoughts about our
I know
podcast.
Some people were saying that we should tell more stories, like just tell old stories, but sometimes it's hard to just like come up with them. They have to be like about something, you know, like you can't just say tell me a story. You gotta tell me like, oh, tell me a story about a time you did this or the time you guys did this, you know. Be more specific.
Yeah, it was like, was there ever a time where you felt like you had to sing in the shower really loudly or something? Did something ever come out of that? Like, yeah, give us like a
Like, did you
scenario.
ever like tell us a story about the time you had to get into a fist fight, to defend your bro or something,
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
Save that for next time.
Yeah, we'll save it for next time. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Until
Thanks,
next
guys.
time. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.